welcome to Have Your Say. My name's Chris, and on today's show we'll be talking witches. Have you ever lived next door to a witch? Or have you ever come across a witch? Or maybe you don't even believe that if a witch actually exists. Today I'm going to speak to a lady who's been living as a witch for most of her life, and we're going to find out what really is about living as a witch in Australia. I'd like to introduce Mara Carter.
Hello, Chris.
How you going?
Hi.
So, Mara, tell me, or tell everybody out there, when did you decide that you were a witch?
Okay. Well, it wasn't that I actually decided. It was more like I rediscovered that I was a witch in a previous lifetime. Yeah. And then I connected back with this part of myself, and I realized, I've been a witch previously, and now, it's not something new. And it all started back when I was young, really. Okay.
Whereabouts are you from?
I was born in Argentina.
South America?
South America,
yeah.
And being a very strong Catholic country, as you can imagine, there was a conflict between what they were trying to teach me at school and what I believe. My beliefs were a bit different. I had a spiritual beliefs which were totally challenging everything that they were trying to teach me, and I used to love shows like Bewitched and all these kind of shows that have a bit of a twist in spirituality. Okay. And so that's when I started my journey into that path that eventually would lead me to rediscover that I was a witch here when I came to Australia.
So you were in your teens when you realised you were a witch?
More like 20s.
Okay.
20s, yeah.
Were you the only one in your school, your area?
In the school? Or
was it in school? Or no?
No. So when I was at school, we, as a teenager, we used to play games like with Ouija boards and do tarot cards and that kind of thing. Yeah. But when I came here to Australia and I was in my 20s and I started to explore all different kinds of alternative spirituality, philosophies, and things like working with crystals and healing. That eventually led me to one day to discover that I was a witch, because I saw this article in the magazine about Wicca, the religion of nature, and I felt, this is what I feel within myself, within my spirit.
Going back to South America, even though in South America there's a lot of witchcraft too,
Yes.
It does exist, doesn't it? There,
yes.
As well. So, so it's not like, why would it clash for? Is it a religious purpose, you say?
Well, it's kept all very undercover, the main religion in South America is Catholicism, Christianity, and what is interesting to know is that witchcraft being the oldest religion on earth, because the records, the paleontological records show paintings of circles of a man wearing horns, which is actually the hunter, the gold hunter, a woman, a pregnant woman, like my goddess here, who is the goddess of fertility, surrounded by people around them dancing. That goes back to 30,000, 40,000 old years. So it goes to a long time ago, which makes it the oldest religion on earth. And so what actually happens, Christianity is much newer. It was an easier way for Christianity to convert the people that would have these old beliefs by adopting quite a lot of the things that we believe, like celebrations, deities, and just give them a twist.
So you're actually not Christian anymore?
No. Oh, no.
You don't believe in any of that? But sometimes you can find witches that also believe in Christianity. Does that exist? No?
They recognize that Christianity is a religion, and we do recognize it, but there is no such a thing as having two paths. You can be either you're a witch, which is a pagan, or a Christian.
So you're a self-profound witch.
Yes.
Yep. Straight up witch. No religion behind this.
No.
Nothing. All left behind.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, I dedicated myself to the path when I was in my 20s.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Coming to Australia, and when you came here, what years were those? 70s, 80s?
It was early 80s.
Okay. Did you find yourself like a witch community here?
Yes, yeah. I did met quite a few people that were into that kind of stuff, and I attended gatherings with my kids.
Okay.
So I took my kids to weekends away, which were a lot of fun and a way of making friends. And I also met my my previous teacher, my very good friend and high priestess.
Who's this lady over here?
Yeah, Carol Chapman. Carol Chapman was an English witch who came to Australia like myself from England. She came from England, and she was initiated, and she studied with Alex Saunders and Maxine. And Alex Saunders, if I don't know if you know Chris, but Alex Saunders was considered in the 1960s, 1970s the king of the witches.
Okay.
Yes, he kind of was initiated. He claims that he was initiated by his grandmother, which we don't know if that is true or not. But what we know is he started this movement called the Alexandrian tradition.
Okay.
The Alexandrian tradition, which was what Carol taught me.
Yep.
And this movement went from spread through Europe to America, to Australia, New Zealand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So coming here from South America to Australia also, let's maneuver into the dating scene. Husbands, boyfriends. Do you date witches? Or was it, say, a wizard? Is that if you want to talk about it?
Yeah. Okay. Well, the thing is, when you go to these gatherings, like I'm talking about witches weekend or whatever, you actually met, people of the same kind as you are. There's similar people, and you actually get to make partners or boyfriends or
Have you gone into that path?
Well, the partner that I have currently, which is I'm married, he's very spiritual. He doesn't consider himself to be a witch, but he considers himself to be very much interested in magic. He's he has channels and work on through tarot.
Okay. Yep.
Using magic, and it's a new concept that he's working on called Evolutionary Magic.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's currently. What about like ex-husband? No,
he's my husband.
Oh, he's your husband, current husband now.
Yeah.
So he's obviously into tarot.
Yeah, he's very good at tarot reading. That's why I put my tarot cards in here as well.
Going into some of this stuff too as well, tell me a little bit about, say, the dagger, for example. What do we do as a witch? What do we use this for?
This is not a dagger.
It's not a dagger. Well,
a dagger is a little knife.
Well, yeah, the daggers are quite small, aren't they?
Yeah, this is what I call a sword.
What do we use this
it's a ceremonial sword, which is used for magical purposes to draw a circle. So when you are in ritual, you will draw your sword, which is what I'm doing right now.
I'd say probably
yes.
This is not for everybody, is it?
It's not really that sharp. Okay.
Let's have a feel.
Yeah, you get it's not sharp, so I don't use it for self-defense.
How long have you had this one for?
Oh, a long time, 20 plus years. 20 years. So what I do with it is I will draw a circle, a magical circle, and you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but just to give you an idea, a magical circle is is the space that in between worlds. So it's between this world and the world of the spirit. So it's a space that you prepare to work with your god, goddess, elements, and it's like when you go to church and you go to a temple, you know, to a church. This is the sign. You just draw this space wherever you are. So basically, we don't, you know, I can draw the circle here, right here, around us.
I've heard a little bit about it, but you're giving more detail to everybody that wants to learn about witchcraft. What would you say, witchcraft? Yes.
Yes, witchcraft. Witchcraft is the old term.
What's the new term now?
Back in the 1960s, 70s, the term witchcraft was replaced with wicca. However, there's still people that they say they practice the more traditional witchcraft.
Okay.
Yeah.
Speaking of some other stuff over here too as well, what's this young green man?
No, it's not a man.
Oh, what is it? It's a young green lady.
Okay. This one here is the goddess Gaia, which is our goddess of the earth, Mother Earth. Because witchcraft, I'd say, even though it's practiced by a lot of females, it has to have a balance, and in everything has a balance, female, male. So here I got the female Mother Earth, which holds the earth as her womb, because it's like creativity, fertility, and that's what for us the goddess represents. She is the giver of life, and that's why it's so important to look after your planet. And you know, whatever you take from your planet, you need to also give back. It's gotta be that balance. And then you got here an element again, the cup, which the cup is also very feminine. It represents the goddess, and we got the balance with the god, the cup, the male cup.
You don't drink out of these sometimes?
No, I don't. No, I don't. I got a different kind of cup. But it's just,
what about, like, obviously you got some of the crystals over here? They use much for anything? Yeah,
the crystals also are an element of earth. So we believe that man is made out of 4 elements. We got earth, the earth element, water, air, and fire. So I tend to put in my altar elements that represent all the objects that represent all those elements. So you got the crystals, which are earth. Then you got air, represented by the feather or the incense, which I got here.
The feather, what is that? So just explain that one again about the feather.
Well, feathers is like I say, represents the element of air. Because obviously birds. Yes, the feathers from planet. However, but what you can do with a feather is, when we go around in circle, cleansing the space, and we put some incense on the charcoal. We actually, I got some charcoal in this. We actually we just use the feather just to you know, to smudge and just to cleanse. Cleansing you. No, I'm cleansing you. I'm actually cleansing you. I'm cleansing you. And this is what we do. We cleanse every person in the circle.
Just some of the other stuff here too. We've got is it the tarot cards here?
Yes.
The tarot cards, and we've got some books here. Just explain for one of our books, like the Witch Bible.
Okay, the Witch Bible. The Witch Bible was written by Janet and Stuart Farrar, which were actually students from one of the original coven. The coven is a group of witches, by the way. That was started by Alex Saunders. So they were students from Alex, and they created a manual and with all the knowledge. Most of it, not everything, because we have to keep some of the stuff secret, you know, because otherwise you people can go and get the stuff and read it. And so we have to keep some stuff secret. So, and that's the book that shows the original book that based on Alex and Maxine.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Tarot cards. What do we do with tarot cards?
Okay. Tarot card, I will say, is the object that connects you with spirit, which is the other element that I didn't mention. Spirit is your higher self. So it's the part of you that knows what's the best for you to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's your guidance. It's a way they were used back in the 1700s as a way of more of entertainment by the high classes. That's what they were, such as a pastime. And the suits that were used back then, they are a bit different to the cards that I'm using today.
Okay.
Yeah, but then it got refined. It was refined a little bit with the gypsies. They introduced their own elements into it, and currently they're used for divination purposes. So just to tell people, if not necessarily just the future, but also like if you want to know, if you need to take a decision, or you want to know what you should do today, how you should live your day, you can just pick a card. So let me do this.
Yeah, do me one.
So if you're having just think of something, just have a think of something that and then just mix them yourself a little bit, and then just pick a card.
Any card?
Yeah, any card that calls you. That's your card.
Yeah.
Oh, this is very interesting. He has picked the Hermit.
What does the Hermit stand for?
The Hermit stands it's number 9, and actually number 9 is my favorite. So this is my favorite card. The Hermit is about going within yourself, spending some quiet time, getting in touch with part of yourself that knowledge, that knows it.
Sounds like a statement.
So you need to go. It's telling me that you need to spend some time just alone on your own, not so much people around, and just get in touch with like it's just think about what is it that you ask yourself some questions about life.
One last thing, the broom.
Okay.
What do you do with this broom? Well, we all know what you do with it, but does it actually happen? Does it actually happen?
He's gonna ask me, do you go for a fly at night time at midnight? No, we don't fly in broomsticks. That was the old belief, like witches fly in broomsticks. Well, witches have a different way of flying by trance. And in the old times, they used to make this cream called the flying ointment, which you can still make nowadays. And the flying ointment, what it was, is to just cover yourself with this, and it puts you in some kind of hallucinogenic kind of trance, and it gave you the illusion, or even sometimes that you were leaving your body. It's kind of coming out of your body, which we call astral projection, coming out of your body and traveling and going to different places and get together and party. That was the idea. But nowadays the broomstick is used for guarding your place. So I normally will put it behind the door to stop some unwanted people from coming into my place.
Oh, actually, one more thing too, the cauldron. What is the cauldron used for again? People don't know much about witches.
I knew he was going to ask me. Because witches we are very psychic. So,
so what's this cauldron used for?
Like a cauldron represents the womb of the goddess, and it's also very much connected with the witch. So each witch will have their own cauldron, and this is where we do our spells. So we will, for example, write petitions, which is what we call when we want something on a piece of paper and burn it. So, or we will dance around the cauldron we will burn some fire there and dance around the cauldron in a kind of frenzy and have a lot of fun and produce what we call this power. So the fire will come up like a serpent of fire, we call it, like a corn of fire, serpent of fire, and then rise up. And that's created not by the world, the wind that we go around, but it's created by the power of all the witches dancing together.
So if any newbie Wiccans out there are wanting to dance around the fire, come and join Maricata. So just speaking of everything else that we've been talking about here, about all the wonderful stuff that we're doing about being a witch, the misconceptions of being a witch, the cons. Have you been judged?
Yeah, I have.
Why, how, and why?
Well, the only thing I can think of is because ignorance. Ignorance is the only fear. When you don't know something, you just create these fantasies in your head of what is possible. And for example, at work, not the current work but previous work, they used to come to me and ask me, are you a witch? Do you worship the evil or the devil? And I say, no, we don't believe in that. We don't believe it. Actually, the devil was created by Christianity, because we don't believe in bad things. We believe, like I say, in this duality of a female force and a male force, the goddess and the god, and we never have anything to do with the devil. And that was something that was created just to,
Were these former workmates or former colleagues?
Yeah, colleagues. Yeah, that's because I was wearing my earrings, and they were going, and they were associating, the 5-pointed star with witchcraft, and
What about like friends?
Friends?
Are they just witches or various people? Just in general.
Well, we got rules within our craft. We call it the craft, and one of the rules is we will never reveal the names of our brothers and sisters to other people that are not witches.
Okay, so you're just friends with witches at the moment, like close friends.
Yes, I got a group myself of students, which it's called a coven. It's a group of other witches, female and males, that come together, and they come together to learn about the craft, and we do celebrations. So we do things like celebrate the full moons, and also celebrate what we call the 8 Sabbaths. The 8 Sabbaths for us are the 8 major celebrations of the wheel of the year, because for us is the year, the yearly cycle is related to starts in the middle of the year, Yule, which is winter, and it's related to the agriculture seasons, and also it's related, it's the god that is born at that time of the year, in the winter time is born, and it grows to become this young stag, and then he marries the goddess, and then she gives birth to the new young god, and so on, and the old god dies. So it's that wheel of, that's what we call the wheel of the year, and that's reflected in what's happening around you on Earth. Like the plants, they grow from a seed, they give fruit, and they die. So it's all related, interconnected. So going back to, yes, we get together and we celebrate that.
Talking about allies, or allies could be also friends too as well. What do you think of the vampire community?
Vampire community?
Well, no idea. Connections there, getting along?
No.
Or let's call it the VC community?
No. I haven't ever met a vampire, to tell you the truth. No.
No, because when I've spoken to a couple of vampires, they've said that we date witches.
Oh, okay.
Would you allow the witches to? Or are you a senior witch, by the way?
Yeah, I guess I will be considered an elder. What is considered an elder? Because once you get to a certain age, or when you've been or when you get to certain degree, like we got through initiations, stages of study.
So you're the last one of that one.
Yeah.
Do you tell like say younger witches to go out with like say a vampire? But
No.
like you said, you don't encourage it.
I don't tell them what to go out with. I just tell them to go out with whoever they want.
Okay, I thought maybe there's something there.
No.
There is a vampire community in Australia.
Really? Well, no, I haven't ever bumped into anybody that call themselves a werewolf or a vampire.
Okay. Speaking of that sort of area too as well, what sort of like obviously there's the divisions of different levels of being a witch, but like who have you followed in the past in Australia?
Who do I follow?
Yeah, who do you follow? Who have you followed? Is there kind of like other divisions up there that even the elder kind of person, you know what I mean? Or that could be you maybe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, with witchcraft you will find either you work as a solitary, on your own, or you work as a group, with a group. So belong to a group which is called a coven. Yeah.
Okay.
So I used to be part of a major group before when my high priest used to be alive, and then the group dissolved, and it was kind of like, okay, and I'm left on my own now, and I have to start it all over again.
Sure.
So that's what I've been doing, but still we get together, different groups get together and practice. Yeah.
So Mara, moving on to some other areas of being a witch.
Yeah.
Now, maybe some people also believe this whole witchcraft and being a witch could be this whole Hollywood bonanza.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not, because it's been around for 100 years, maybe 100 years, maybe thousands, millions of years. Yeah. Maybe since the Roman BC times, is that?
Oh yeah, before.
Oh, even before that, yeah. So obviously, you got charm, you got the craft, and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, true or not, or it is based on real things.
Well, they will create these shows based on real things, but they will change it to make it more appealing for teenagers.
Okay. Has anyone ever said that you're not true? Like
Has anybody said anything to me? No.
Never. They won't say that to you.
No. I mean, my daughter, for example, which she was baptized as a witch. I say baptized.
Baptized as a witch.
Yeah, because it is the word for baptized in our craft is called wicca, wickening.
So your daughter's a witch too?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I remember as a young girl, she used to go to school, primary school, and she would tell her friends that she was a witch, and they didn't believe her. It's just really funny. And they used to go and say, not true. Yeah, right. What, you're going to turn us into a toad? And that's that kind of thing.
But did they ever say nothing over the top to that? No.
No.
They just went along with it too, yeah?
Yeah, they thought it was funny, and they didn't believe her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where are we right now? We're in obviously in your home.
Yes.
Yeah. What would you call it? Not just a home. Would you say sanctuary?
Yes, it is make sanctuary.
It is a sanctuary.
Yeah, it is make sanctuary, and I got a rune which I dedicate to to my deity to do rituals, and that's where we, as a coven, when my group is here, we practice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe we might be checking that out.
Yeah. And that's called my temple. So you're welcome to go into my temple. The only one rule is that you gotta take your shoes.
We'll probably go in there real soon too. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me, Mara.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris.
Hope you enjoyed my episode on witches. If you've got any questions or ideas, you can email me. Other than that, come and join me next week for another exciting new episode.